everyone, and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, as you can see by the title, I would like to tell you about 10 mistakes I hope you will not make in Disneyland Paris. The first video I made was all about the mistakes we did as a family when we went to Disneyland Paris for the first time the past January. There was few things that I really regretted. I felt like I did my research really good, but if you think you can just watch a couple of videos and you know it all, you really do not. I feel like we always learn, and Disney also changes so much, and there's always new things happening that you really would have to be there probably at least once a month to kind of keep up with everything. So going quickly into a video, today I'm gonna tell you 10 mistakes I hope you will not make. So the first one is something that's not so obvious, and it's the entrance. As you see the beautiful building and all the people going for the middle big grand entrance, you can also use the sides. That's something we did not know. I remember standing with our suitcases because we didn't know where the hotels are and how to get there, and all about that in that first video. We were so clueless about that. That's one thing I did not research, the whole like transition from getting off the train to a hotel, checking in, checking out. But anyway, do not rush to go in the middle. I mean, unless there's not many people, which it's Disney, there's always a lot of people. We've seen people go into the sides of the building, and at first I thought this is cast members because there was a sign for cast members, but it's not. There's also entrances on both sides, so it's not like you're gonna stand in this massive queue, because there's actually 3 sections and they're all just the same. I think the only difference with the middle part is that you can actually purchase tickets over there, which is, I think, I don't want to say useless, but the park most days is sold out anyway, and you have to buy it in advance. So unless you're not an online person and you go physically, you live in Paris, you go physically, you want to buy the tickets there and then okay, go in the middle. But if you're just going through with your booking, you can easily use the sides, and they're so much quicker. So the second mistake for people that have been to Disney or have done their research is not gonna seem like a thing that you would do, but I've heard of people not doing it, and that is not using the app. When we arrived in Paris, we stayed in a different hotel just to kind of save our money for that first night, because we weren't going to Disney that same day. And we met a family that was talking to us that evening while we had supper, and they were not prepared. They thought they will just show up and go with the flow, and they were amazed when I told them about the app. So if you're going, regardless if it's one day free or a week, you need the Disneyland Paris app. That app has everything in it: the ride times, the whole map, all the restaurants or the quick service restaurants, the menus, the prices, everything is on it. And without it, you'll be a lost puppy, because you're also going to save so much time. You can plan so much better when you look at the map and you see, okay, this ride is 5 minutes, let's do this one and then that one, instead of just going saying, okay, half an hour, I'll stand here. You can plan so much better, and you can ride so many more rides. So download the app. It's free and it's amazing. Disneyland for many of us is a once-in-a-lifetime adventure, so it would be such a shame to go get your hopes up to ride the ride you've seen online or eat in a restaurant that looked amazing on the pictures and realize that they're closed. So please check the website for the closures, and that's also on the app. You can check what's closed, what's under refurbishment, so you don't get your hopes up. And same goes for the restaurants, because there's nothing worse than looking forward to something and then just being greeted by big boards completely locking off the entrance. And number 4 is actually kind of going with number 3, and that's restaurants. Again, you've probably heard loads of amazing things like Pirates of the Caribbean restaurant where you can eat and the ride kind of goes through the restaurant. Amazing. I've not been there myself, but sounds amazing. Don't be fooled that you can just walk in and eat. No. Those reservations are being booked months in advance. So as soon as you book your trip, I suggest you go on that app that we spoke about earlier and you book your restaurants. You can always cancel it in the last minute, and it's not going to cost you anything, so you can do that. But it is very hard to find things the same day, especially if it's such hyped restaurant as the Pirates, the Marvel one in a hotel, or even, what was that super popular one? Character dining. That's the one. Character dining goes so quick. And if you already have booking with Disney and you have the breakfast package, you can actually add on the dining character and it will most likely be available, because when I checked separately, it was not available. When I went through my booking and wanted just to pay the difference of a breakfast, it was available. So you need to keep in mind, if you're wanting to eat in those restaurants, I know it can be very frustrating for me for example, to look in few months ahead at the certain date and the time and what am I gonna want to eat that day, but you can just book them and then cancel them. I mean, that's not great for other people, but if you're really desperate for some kind of booking, do it as quickly as you can. Do not wait. Number 5. This one is probably more for people that are going with their kids, family, friends. So I would suggest watch the rides before you go. I know it could be a spoiler, I just get even more excited, but you can see on Disney website all the height requirements, and do not worry if your child is 1, 2, 3, 4, most of the rides are for those kids. I find Disneyland more of a magical place. It's not a park for big thrills. There's not that many big thrill rides, and that's perfect for me because I hate roller coasters, ironically. It's more of a magical place, so there's plenty for them to still ride. But if you do worry about something or them being scared of something, just watch a YouTube video. There's one channel in particular that has all the kind of drive-thrus. They just have a camera stuck to them and they film all of it, and then you know what to expect. And it really helped me because I did not get myself in a situation that my kid would be crying. Fair enough, we went on Crush's coaster and we went on one of the roller coasters. He was petrified, but I did not know what to expect. To be honest, it was very dark on the video and I was kind of like, let's do it. But now I know I don't like the feeling. But I did watch the Tower of Terror videos, knew exactly what to expect, was still breaking it and went on it. And I've done it, I'm glad, but I'll never do it again. But if you do worry about your kids and you don't mind the spoilers, or maybe you worry for yourself, just watch the video. That's something that, you know, at least you're gonna know roughly what it's gonna be. Because even a ride like Snow White might be scary for some kids because of the evil witch. There is a creepy forest you go through, so that might be a bit spooky, but maybe if a child also watches it, it'll ease them more into being like, okay, this is all just fake. Number 6, single riders. You will see 2 queues to almost every ride, and that's the single riders and your normal line. Single rider just means that if you don't mind being paired up with someone else or sitting alone, you can just go on and it's pretty much a walk-on because people want to be with their families. They want to be in the couples they came with, you know, pairs, children. But if you don't mind splitting up with your group, you can just go and you're gonna get on so much quicker. Number 7, snacks and juice. If you don't want to spend $1 million, okay, I'm over exaggerating, but if you don't want to spend a lot of money on such basic things like little snacks and a bottle of water, just bring yours. You are totally allowed to do it because once you're in a park, and especially with children, that's the one for all the families out there, you know how it is. The kids want to snack any second they're not doing something. Walking from ride to ride, they want a snack. They want a juice, a tiny sip, every 5 minutes, and it can be really expensive to get that in a park. And I mean, you can totally do that. We were not very prepared. I also don't really like carrying a lot of stuff, but I tried to have at least 1 or 2 bottles in my bag for 4 of us and some kind of snacks because they can be very expensive, especially if your kids are not that interested in fancy pieces in the shape of Mickey, but they just want a pack of Doritos, which a little pack like this in a Disney shop will cost you 5 or 6 euro, which is a bit ridiculous. So definitely just pack something, just a few little things, or be ready with a whole backpack. I've seen families where a mom's pushing the pram and a dad's got a big old backpack with the whole shebang of camping little picnic food. So you're totally free to do that and you're allowed to do that. Number 8. Again, this video is turning more into tips for families, but I think it's really important because I never thought how much walking there's gonna be. I mean, I knew, I was aware. I didn't realize that, you know, as an adult, I'll be tired. As an adult, I'll be doing 25,000 steps a day. So obviously, little people, a 5-year-old, an 11-year-old will get tired. Now, my kids are obviously way over the pram days, but we did end up hiring the pram in a park. That's amazing because it's something that's available. The prams are very big, sturdy metal prams that are clearly made for kind of all ages, because I had my 11-year-old with a 5-year-old on her lap. I was pushing them. It was ridiculous. It was a bit of an exercise, but at the same time, it was giving them a break. It is a lot. The kids are so overstimulated by everything that's going in the park. The excitement, the very early mornings and late nights. And you know, if I can hire the pram, I will. I mean, if you have one, take it. One of those little collapsible ones. We don't have one anymore. It probably also wouldn't hold 2 of my kids, but you can hire one for a day. I mean, you can do it for more than that. We've hired for 3 days that we were there. So it was 25 euro a day, I believe. And then there was a little deposit fee in case you want to steal it, you know, so they've got something to buy it again. The good thing is if you're staying in a Disney hotel, you can actually take it all the way back into the hotel and take it back out in the morning. So you don't have to, you know, if you're walking to the park rather than taking a shuttle bus, you can just pop your kid in a pram and go. It made it so much easier for us. We did that back in January because both of them were tired, and our boy was just kind of, I mean, he did the first day amazingly, and the second day he's seen other kids in those prams. He knew what was going on, and I mean, it made it just easier for everyone else. But this past visit to Disney in August, we didn't need it. Maybe the weather, maybe the nicer weather was also nicer for them. It was more chilled. It was very, very hot. We did not do pram that time, but keep in mind there is an option, but it is costly. Number 9 is character meetings. Do not just go and stand in a queue. If you see a character and you see a massive line, I wouldn't bother. I really wouldn't bother. Those queues go for hours. Disneyland Paris cast members are amazing. I've never been to the American one, but I've heard it's so much different. It's kind of like, come up, take a picture, okay, bye. In Paris, they will interact. They will look at your outfit, they'll touch your hair, they'll dance with you. They're really gonna take their time to take few pictures, and it does take time to go through all those people. The cast members, if they see you're a family and your kid's taking a picture, they'll be like, hey, you want me to take a picture of your whole family? Like, it doesn't just have to be your kid. Let me take your phone, I'll do it for you. It's amazing, but obviously if there's a lot of people, it's gonna take some time. So what I would do is, again, going back to the app, you can see the timings of all the character meetings and you can plan it. And fair enough, you can't be there for every single character because they do overlap in time, but you can plan your favorites. We did some of them we just stumbled upon because there is characters that are not on the app that will randomly pop up. So we did Piglet and Rabbit. That was a very random one, only a 15-minute queue. But for Toy Story, for Woody and Jessie, we planned it. I've seen exactly what time they're coming, and I went 15-20 minutes early. There was already quite a few people, but nobody was queuing. They were all sitting. So the second I kind of spotted cast members walking around, I was like, this is it, Arielle. And we rushed to the front of a queue, and we were one of the first 5 people to be there because we knew about it earlier. Again, thanks to the app. So I'm not necessarily saying don't stand in a queue, but we joined the queue for Stitch because my daughter really wanted to meet Stitch and we didn't pre-plan that one, and it was about 2.5 hours. So up to you, but I would definitely kind of plan ahead. And the last one, probably the most controversial one for myself, is do not believe anybody that tells you you can do the whole of Disneyland in one day. The amount of people that said, you can do it in a day, you can do it in a day, yeah. I mean, depends who you are, okay? We're a family of 4 with very different interests, right? I've got a boy who loves Marvel, and my daughter who loves everything, and me who wants to take it all in, and dad who wants to get his money's worth. I'm joking. But you know what I mean. One day is not enough. You have 2 parks, and fair enough, studios are way smaller. But if you want the whole experience, the rides, the food, the parades, the characters, the little shows, it is just not enough time. We did 4 days. I find that plenty. And keep in mind, they were very long days. I'm talking magic hour at 8 in the morning till midnight. We usually do fireworks only once per trip. It's not that big of a deal to see it twice. It's a very, very long day, and by the time it gets to fireworks, the kids are already kind of grumpy and the show goes on for like half an hour. So I suggest you do it at least once. But don't believe anybody that says you can do it in a day. I mean, I've seen videos of adults going and they just want to go on the thrill rides. So they do like the 3 thrill rides. They get a snack, a pint, see fireworks, and they're happy. So if that's what you want to do, yes. But if you want the whole experience, you do need more than a day. It's not necessary because you can, you know, if all you can do is one day, totally do it. Probably prioritize the main park rather than the studios, although you could hop, but I would do at least 2. At least 2. It's very tiring. I know this is all costly, but I just don't want to be one of those people that are like, yeah, you can do it in a day. And then people think that Disneyland Paris is teeny weeny compared to American parks, which, okay, it is way smaller, but it's still not a one-day attraction. You've made it till the end of this video, and please remember, this is just our experience. This is something that I would just tell other people. I bet if you're watching it, you're researching for your next trip and you're watching loads of those videos, and there is quite a few on YouTube. I'm hoping you liked what you've heard, and maybe you liked my delivery and you're excited about your Disney trip. If you're going, tell me when and what you're looking forward to the most. I'm just so excited watching other people go, because I'm like, I want to go. I'm so excited. But it's just such a magical place, and I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope you leave a little like, maybe subscribe. There's going to be a lot of cool videos, more homely ones this time coming. We've got a massive kitchen renovation. I have a year worth of footage that I've never put together, and I'm planning to do kind of like back then versus now videos. I am planning a very big Disney trip too. So if you want to stay tuned for that, it'll be amazing if you subscribe. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!